The subject is trust. Sometimes you hear a statement like this: well, of course, I trust her to get this job done and done well. I mean, she's got a PhD in the subject. She's done this kind of work before for me, always with great success. We do use the word trust that way, but it's not exactly what the word means. It would be more exact to say, if you really know somebody's up to a job, that you had confidence in her, not that you were trusting of her. Now, trust and confidence are not the same. More about that in just a moment. There's a section in our new book, the Culture book, entitled "The Mysterious Matter of Trust." Trust is kind of a mystery. I mean, how do you know when to give it, when to withhold it, and how to get people to trust us? A complicated thing, but that complication is likely to be almost invisible to someone who retains an older, much more simplistic model of how trust works. And I'm speaking specifically of the linked nature of trust and trustworthiness. That you can't have one without the other. That trust has to be preceded by demonstrated trustworthiness. I can practically hear my mother trying to put that idea to me when I was a teenager, saying, we can't really trust you to do this thing that you're asking to be allowed to do until you've proved that you're worthy of specifically that trust. It's a familiar idea and therefore kind of comforting, but it's also, sorry about this, Mom, it's also a logical absurdity. You can't possibly demonstrate trustworthiness unless someone has taken a chance on you and advanced you a bit of trust. Of course, at the extremes, the linkage is true. If somebody has been indeed untrustworthy, head for the hills. Don't trust that person ever again. On the other hand, the person that has been trustworthy, constantly trustworthy, is a treasure and someone that you want to associate with as much as possible. It's the middle ground, however, where people have not proved one way or the other whether they're up to being trusted. That's where the subject becomes complicated. Trust is not a reward for anything. Trust is in fact more like an investment. And as with any investment, you make it in a context of imperfect confidence. You don't know for sure how it's going to work out. Let me take this idea home for you. So imagine you've got a teenage daughter, and she's just asked you for permission for the first time to take a family car out with her friends unsupervised. She's just got her license. License is now unrestricted, and she wants to go off for the evening with friends. Now, if that idea doesn't strike fear in your heart, you probably don't have teenagers. You have to be worried. No matter how good a kid she is, you've got to be worried. Are her skills, her driving skills, up to it? How does she act when she's completely out of sight of any adult? Will there be boys involved? Will she retain focus if somebody in the back seat says something outrageous and hilarious? All these things are concerns. So what do? You weigh what you know about her and what you don't know about her, and you make your decision. I don't mean to say the decision always has to be yes. You have to worry about her readiness and her safety. But you also don't want to miss a chance for her to demonstrate her trustworthiness. You have to weigh the possibilities here that this is one of those golden opportunities for her to make that move and show you that she is entirely trustworthy. But at the same time, you don't want to put her into a situation she's not ready for and set her up for failure. Now, that same idea in the work context is a young person works for you, is done fine on everything you've thrown at him, and now you're thinking, well, maybe he's up to this big new responsibility. Should I trust him with that? How do you make your decision? Again, as with your daughter, you weigh what you know about the person, what you don't know. You're not entirely confident, neither is he, and you make your decision based on, is this the golden opportunity for him to demonstrate his and succeed in demonstrating his trustworthiness? Or is he not ready, and would I be setting him up for failure if I pushed him into something he wasn't ready for? There's a side effect to advancing trust to someone, something that I never took account of for the first 100 years or so of my career. And in order to see that, think back to somebody who advanced some trust to you. A person who took a chance on you beyond anything you demonstrated you were quite ready for. How do you feel about that person? I look back at the people that did that for me, many of them, by the way. They are part of my personal hall of fame of great managers. But more important for our purposes here, they are people to a person that I would trust with my life, any one of them. Why is that? That's the side effect, that being willing to advance trust to someone disposes that person, inclines that person to return the favor and trust you. The most powerful way I know to gain trust is by giving a little.